What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Down the Rabbit Hole. We are here. What are we doing today? Well, it would be good if I knew. We are here doing the Inktober challenge, and the word for today, we're going to jump over to the desktop. The word for today is rust. Oh man, what's going on here? There we go. It's day 23. We've made it through a lot of words. None of which were super exciting. But like I said, this year I'm not taking it too seriously. Not too serious. Halloween is coming up. I was just playing around with making masks. I think I showed this to you yesterday, but it was interesting to try to draw that line straight because your face isn't flat. Yeah, I definitely talked about that yesterday. Anyways, this has been on the desk. There's a couple other projects that actually I have some ghosts that I was planning on doing this October, but I just don't think it's going to happen. There's just far too much going on. Um, and there's no like holidays in October other than Halloween, so all regular work days. October is just such a busy month. Um, but I did want to talk about a few things. I'm not going to do a full on tutorial about editing because that would be boring. But as you know, my subscription to uh, Epidemic Sound is expiring in 2 days, so I'm rushing to get a lot of the projects that have been sitting inside Premiere done because they have songs and stuff that I won't be able to use in 3 days. So it's like I'm really just focusing on one, and then I'm gonna have to just strip the music from everything else. The music will change for the Hot Wheels videos, all sorts of stuff is gonna happen. Um, but currently, we're gonna lose our music. So I went on and I was looking to see what happens if I like Premiere. Can I like post a video or upload a video and then publish it, upload it? I don't know how to do it. Publish it, then unpublish it. But I guess if you unpublish it, I don't know. Because what it says, like, I just don't know if I premiere it. And then it got me on this Reddit feed about free music after your subscription. But where's my original? All videos, podcasts, and or any type of content that have been published during an active subscription will stay clear to monetize forever. So that's saying as long as it's published. But like if you look into things like YouTube and I go to upload and we go, wait, I don't know, videos? Is it published when you published? Videos will be private until you publish them. So I don't think you can premiere. I'm just too skeptical that they won't let me publish it after. So I just need to continue working hard and moving forward. I actually came up with a little bit of a new system today with uh, doing audio and narrative. I think what I should do moving forward with narrative, is I would like to watch my raw footage all the way through once and then just write everything that I may want to say or that I did say that I think is important while I'm clipping it, which is not going to work. It's hard to tell the story before you see what you captured. And I guess maybe I've been doing it backwards where I should just focus on the story and less on what was captured. So, don't get distracted. See, this is why I can't have things ever around me. I get too distracted. So the plan is to look at some new stuff, and what we're going to look at today is we're going to look into Beethoven AI. I haven't used this at all. This will be my first walkthrough. It says that it'll compose music for free, so we're going to try to compose music using we're going to compose music using AI. Okay, so here are some of the descriptions. 30-second dark atmospheric electronic track capturing the feeling of exploring a dystopian futuristic city at night. That's pretty gnarly. So I can take a piece of my video and have it build something. Now, so patriotic music playing in the background of a weak fireworks show. My issue with a lot of this video, a lot of content, a lot of stuff that I do make, I don't know if it's all that interesting. So I guess I kind of have to make it interesting. Like the plan as a content creator is to like create cool content that is interesting. Oh, it gave me 0 to 0 to a minute. Give me a minute. So the default is a minute. Dear Lord. AI music is rough at best. patriotic Fourth of July. Let's try again. See how well Beethoven AI does. Probably not that well. Maybe I need to look into. I just don't have time to make my own music, and that's why I have a subscription to Epidemic Sound. And you know what? It just might return. But I'm trying to find a workaround. All right, maybe not Beethoven AI. What does this sound like, though? I'm interested to see what their example sounds like. Sounds like a murder crime mystery. These AI programs are a little wild. That being said, I have to actually find. So let's just say. So there's this. YouTube has an audio library. I'm gonna search patriotic music. Oh, if I could spell. Nothing. Search. I might just have to sign up for. So that, I could fit that. Because I like. like the music there. That's okay. I like all that music too. I need something for this. That section. I haven't even talked about any of this or this. So I need to write script for this. Man, it's gonna come close. I got 3 days. It says my thing expires on the 26th. So I got 3 days to launch. I don't know if I'm a Girdwood Fair. Maybe. I have some pretty good, decent shots that I could just do a quick little slideshow. That's what I should do more of. And then I gotta do the Deshka River. So there's a lot to do. I feel like some of these can be standalones. Like this video is good all by itself.
I know.
And it's short, it's not that long.
Top. That's the end.
But if I do that, I lose the story. I lose some of the story. And my question is, do I like save the story and just don't know. Like this part is all story up to like here. It's really just talking about Alaska and just a few weird things that I saw when I landed. And then it goes straight into like a real hiking video, which I could cut just by itself. But that turns into footage of the Argo ride, our adventure down the hill, and then back up the hill. A bunch of me chopping wood, some time lapse, which I would like to put in. I just don't know how to fit that in to make it reasonable. Then we have 4th of July, which has music on the trip out, which I need to save. Then I have narrative to do here, probably some music to drop there. These can be pulled. So this will be stuff that won't be necessary. And then 4th of July parade, great, done. Standalone, it goes from 17 to 1908. So it's about 2 minutes, just the parade part, which means the hatchery being 6. I just might have to break it up into parts. I don't know. But I'm gonna have to launch them all on the same day in parts. The Matanuska one, this glacier landing is I really need to write more narrative for this part. And then Girdwood Fair, Deshka Landing. I just don't know. We'll see. Maybe I need to launch part 1. Dial in part 2. We might have to smudge the timeline a little bit, and it might not look completely correct, but we'll work through it. Anyways, let's work on what we came here to work on and not do Premiere work, although this has been my life for the last few days. But I almost feel better since I don't have any audio and I don't push through. The Argo adventure is so short. Maybe when I cut the narrative for speaking about what happened there, we'll be able to shorten that up, kind of button it up. It just doesn't, it's not like, just like every one of my stories, it's not that great. Like, it's not like we see a bear. It's not like we literally drive around this little dirt road because the Argo's so bumpy because we're driving through a rock bed. It was hard to film, so I didn't film all that much. The filming I did do wasn't that great, and that just kind of leads us into the end of this story, which is fine. Yeah, I just kind of have to, because I recorded most of the audio in the present, so that video really stands to be the present. Huh. And then my goal would to be after getting through, I would need to do 4th of July, everything that happened, all the way to coming back, heading back to Anchorage. And then we would do Girdwood Fair and Deshka River together. There's some footage from the actual premiere of the, what is it? It's the, oh my goodness, I can't. I've said it a million times. It's the race in Alaska.
Everybody, so I do apologize. Wave your hand if you're a finisher who I missed it.
So these are like actually people who
All right, well, also want to recognize
Iditarod.
two Iditarod board members, Clint Johnson and Ryan York. So thank you.
This movie was so long. It was so long. I can't believe how long it was.
And immersive dog.
I mean, my videos are long too. This one was 3 hours though. Mine will not be 3 hours. My videos should be like 10-minute cuts and then we'll move along. All right, everything is good. Perfect. Hi, Kelly. Yeah, so I think the plan, this all has music. This is good though. I like this, as I can almost put this out as just a standalone Alaska adventure, but I have this little bit of intro. But if I do them in episodes, that means I can kind of run this intro. You wouldn't know that my aunt hired me to paint a chicken coop. But so, if you haven't seen the Alaskan art video, you wouldn't know that my aunt hired me to paint a chicken coop. But if you want to see the process of that, you'll have to check out this video. Basically, I got on a plane and I flew to Alaska, and my main so I don't need this plane part. If I run it as an episode, right? Like, okay, let me think about this. So if I run that intro and it says, if you didn't check, should I start it like I do my other ones? If you haven't seen the Alaskan art video, you wouldn't know that my aunt hired me to paint a chicken coop. But if you want to see the process of that, you'll have to check out this video. Basically, I got on a plane and I flew to Alaska, and my main goal was to paint my aunt's chicken coop. And that's what I did. But in this video, we just capture my Alaskan adventure. So upon landing, this is the first conversation that I heard out of the plane.
Hey Olivia, what do you think is happening? What do you think is happening in life?
Hey.
The sun is just now starting to set, and it's 11:30 at night.
Blaring through the trees still.
Lots of daylight. Should probably get to bed soon. I think that's the game plan, but it's really hard to sleep when the sun looks like this.
It's not really setting. Pretty neat though. Different than anywhere else in the world.
It's so choppy. It's so choppy. Just now starting to set, and it's 11:30 at night.
Blaring through the trees still.
I hate that spin. Why?
Through the trees still.
Lots of daylight. Should probably get lots of daylight. Should probably get to bed soon. I think that's the game plan, but it's really hard to sleep when the sun looks like this.
It's not really setting.
Why? Oh, yeah, because that's just the end of that clip. I have no
Sun
choice.
looks like this. It's not really setting. Pretty neat though. Different than anywhere else in the world.
It's just I don't have the footage.
In the world.
After waiting for my aunt for a little bit, I decided to take a stroll around the neighborhood. This little guy scared the life out of me. I thought it. So there's audio, there's narrative already input in this. I can still run this intro into Flat Top, but I think I can clean up this intro a little bit. I really like the conversation with Olivia because I think it's funny. I think it's a funny little cut of like what is this little kid's asking his sister, I'm guessing, what he thinks is happening in life right now, which I think is a crazy question for kids to be asking each other. But kids do ask each other weird things, so. But her answer was nothing, so I don't have no clue what she said. She said days, I think. That's what's going on in life is days. I mean, she couldn't have been more than like 5 or 6 years old. So what she knew about what was going on was, it's quite interesting. Because we don't always think about like, what do you think is happening in life right now? Like millions of things are happening in life right now. There's people working in coal mines. There's people building things. There's people going to work. There's people going to sleep. There's people eating. There's people there's somebody just died. Like there's things that are happening at all times on this planet. And I mean, I don't know. You just don't think about it when you're, by yourself. Or you're centered on life. But I could clean up this intro a lot. I need to think about it. The hiking video is good. That'll hang out. The Argo video. I wrote the dialogue for the Argo video, which the reason why we didn't go on a long Argo adventure is another reason is Doug's Argo came back and it was broken from they didn't fix it correctly at the dealership. So he didn't even get to take his out. So it wasn't as fun. I got chopping wood, which isn't important, but was a large thing. And then I can end on that. Then we start with 4th of July in Valdez. Talk about Valdez all the way to the end of that, to Matanuska and where they throw the cars off the cliff. And then we can open the next third part with the fair, the mountain goats and the fair. And then end on the Deshka River. Finish up with the Iditarod premiere. And we're back on the plane we're on a plane to California. And technically, I could roll California into going to see my other aunt and then hang out with the boys. But the boys trip gets a little bit, I don't know if that's YouTube. It's just, we're the boys, so I don't know how YouTube friendly that is. Yeah, and then that's kind of the end of me telling the story about Alaska, all in all. Wow. I captured a firework exploding. That's pretty cool. See this picture? It's actually a photo. Interesting. Yeah, maybe if I go back and visit again. But that leaves me at, with raw footage, I'm at 58 minutes. 58 minutes in total. So that's not too bad. I'm inside an hour. And if I divide it into 3 parts, is that what I said? Deshka River, what were we doing? We're doing flat top. If I think about it, we're doing, sorry guys, I told you this wouldn't be a, and I should launch flat top tomorrow. And then the next would be Valdez, 4th of July. And the last one is Deshka River, which Deshka River might be actually pretty short. There's a lot of footage, but I guess I could talk about the Deshka River and like the glacier silt and the runoff and where it hits the Skitna? I don't know. One of those. Squidna? I don't know. I can pull it up on a map and I can show you. But the thing is with the Deshka River and why it's important and can be filed in with the Iditarod, and this will just be like a 1 second, 2 second, like maybe 10-second clip of me talking about going to this barefoot theater. Oh, I'm coughing in the video too. Death is near.
By 3-time champion Mitch Seavey.
Mitch Seavey, 3-time champion.
I apologize for other finishers in the room. I haven't seen everybody, so I do apologize. Wave your hand if you're a finisher who I missed it.
So that guy just stands right in front of us for a while. That's nice, right? But I shouldn't be filming. So like, let's make all things right.
And immersive dog's eye footage off the trail that we're going to show you here. So if you know who Greg Heister is, who couldn't be here, who produces this, we want to give a big shout out to Greg.
My aunt says it's so cool right now, but 3 hours later we're like, okay.
We're about as old school as you can get and authentic. And I think we represent that instinct to really get back and challenge yourself.
Their editors did do a good job. The problem with this video was they literally
the art, where primitive meets modern, and a
this
way of life collides with competition.
this
The
is
Iditarod
the
in its
Discovery
second
Channel
50 years.
style
the next
video,
50 began with a Reddington getting to the finish line first.
and they
A
just
name synonymous with the origins of the race.
did it all.
A day that won't soon be forgotten.
I wonder if this is AI.
It's a Super Bowl of Washington, and to come out on top.
I wonder if the
and
narrative's
win
AI.
his-
That's
his
interesting.
race,
It sounds AI.
It's a dream come true, and I always said it was my dream to win the race and bring home my grandpa's trophy, the trophy of Joe Reddington Sr., and it's my dream to do it again.
I don't know if he won.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't choke up for him, get a little teary-eyed, and get really excited and nervous right at the end. It's like, what's going on? It's, you know.
Yeah, he might have won. I don't remember. It was so long I couldn't figure out who won. That's like everyone's life story. And we're out. We're out of Alaska. 58 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. We're doing pretty good. Oh, we're hitting the deadline though. We're going to be just trying to get across the finish line. But I feel good because I have most of the narrative done for the first 2. And if I can get those dropped, if I could drop one tomorrow, number 1 tomorrow, pick another song for this end part, maybe pick an adventure song for this, make this a little bit more interesting. It's kind of bland right now. and that's probably because it doesn't have any music. So I gotta go down in and do some sound editing there. That's what I want to focus on tomorrow. So, oh man, tonight, I guess. I don't know. I don't know when I'm gonna find time. But speaking about time, let's jump over into the studio. Oh dear. And webcam's down. Oh. How old is that picture? Reset. All right, we're back. We're back in action. We're gonna move the good old keyboard out of the way. I'm hoping my iPad's charged. I have had no time to do anything other than run around and catch falling objects. Like I don't know why October has to be like the busiest month ever, but like I can't even get anything together to do for Halloween because there's so much going on. Like I'm always starting, it seems like I'm always like just starting a new job. Or like getting used to settling into the job that I'm working for the year. That's probably due to the school year. Hold on, let me do this the proper way. Sorry, quick cleaning. Like I said, I haven't had time to do anything, really. So I'm gonna do a quick wipe down, which is not looking like it's helping. Looks like it's making it worse. Okay, but good. Luckily for us, when I turn it on, it'll get. Oh my goodness, why does it look so terrible? Screen cleaner. Oh dear. I don't know if I'm supposed to use that on an iPad. Oh well. Cleans my glasses. Be able to wipe down my screen. Okay. Perfect. Procreate. Boom. We're back in business. That worked great. So if you missed yesterday, we did camp. Don't do this to me. Oh, I know what's happening. I know what's happening. Okay, camp. There we go. That one was pretty fun. Just a simple drawing. Just a little scene, because I think most of these, as much as I want to fight it and not do a scene, they really do need a scene. Like this one, next one's going to need a scene. But I actually don't know what to do. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Let's open a new tab here and let's type in the word rust. If what? I guess everyone's trying to program. I don't know. I just want to see regular rust. Why did it say if let? Okay. Rust programming languages. If Rust tutorial, we control the flow of our. So it's a game. A programming language. Okay, let's look at Rust is an iron oxide and usually reddish brown oxide formed by the reaction of iron and oxygen in the catalyst presence of water or air moisture. I want to find how to stop rust on metal. Powder coating creates a barrier. Paint. Oil slows rusting by preventing moisture from reaching the metal. I've heard of this bluing. Five ways to rust proof without. So there's a lot of ways. I need to learn about that in my real brain. Just needs to happen. Okay. So Rust is a color. It's a video game. It's a programming language. Look at images of Rust. It's red, orange. It really just is like a style. Okay, so I guess the challenge in the next 15 minutes would be to just draw a rusty looking the dry ink. That was a little bit fun. I don't know if I'm ready for this one. It's not too bad. Not this small level. Let me try to use markers. Is there a marker in here? These are all pencils, pastels. Oh, here it is, marker. See how well this works. Okay, we're gonna use the marker. Whew. Okay. All right, and we're gonna first start with our normal shape. Well, maybe we should do something different. I've never tried to draw the UFO from the top. Let's try that. Oh, that's not gonna work. I like when I tell myself that things are gonna fail before they do. What was that? Why is there a C? Nope. And circle. Right. And the issue is then we're gonna have to draw everything else from the top, which I don't really know what that looks like. Let's say we put the dashboard here, right? We have the top of the steering wheel here. Oh man, this is going to be difficult. Or the alien's head here. This position is just going to look giant. And we got Bunny. What does Bunny look like from the top? Okay, so he's going to look like a circle, right? And there's going to be a headrest behind him. There's a steering wheel in front of him. Right. He's going to have two gangly looking hands, one thumb in the steering wheel, one finger outside, one thumb in the steering wheel. Hand goes outside, right? And Bunny's sitting next to him, so Bunny looks like 2 ears. Oh. And a nose and a face, right? And he's got a headrest too. But he doesn't have any controls. So here on his side though, is we're going to have inset, and then he needs a tachometer up there inside his cockpit. So on Bunny's side, not only are there going to be like air vents like a normal car, but there's going to be like a lot of buttons over here for Bunny to deal with. Maybe a knob, maybe a screen, maybe another air vent, right? There we go. Then like in the back, you'll have what? Yeah, maybe another side, like the back of the car. You might have like a fire extinguisher here, just in case. The hose that goes down. That has a gauge on it, right? And then like a trigger, so you'd know. And maybe you have like a backpack sitting here, the top view. It's gonna have a handle, have a zipper, right? Maybe jackets are hung up on the back. Well, hard hats. I don't know, something like that. Just a bunch of things back here, really. I mean, I could draw in the floor, but I don't think that's necessary. And the chairs probably have armrests, right? I would assume they have armrests and that they swivel. So this one needs some armrest too. But Bunny has to sit closer to the front. Can I still make him angry? Oh, I can. There he is. That brings him to life a little bit. Not much. Maybe like there's like there's like a door with a ladder that goes down to a bottom floor. I don't know. right? And this might have some like floor gradient, but we're gonna have to thicken this up a little bit. Give it a little bit more depth. You know? Yeah, the rest of his body that goes down this way. Then you might have 2 feet sticking off the edge. Have a clock on this wall, maybe? Just a box, first aid kit. That's fun, right? A weird little perspective, right? It's not the one you would normally see. Now, I guess what I would have to do is I wanted to. Okay, I need to add another layer. So I need to add the rest layer, and that's looking to be somewhere in. I need to do some layering here. I don't know what that looks like. What does that look like? Do I like just put some rest in the corner and then see how it goes? I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to draw it all first, but let's look at what we're really working with. So when we see something that's rusted and it's metal like this and it has like rivets, I'm just taking a quick look to see what another word for rust in this, they call it patina. Nope, I don't. Cars. Patina. So this is a cool look, and I've always really liked this. Like, here, let me jump you back into the desktop so you can see. So this is kind of like what I was thinking for the effect for this one is kind of this rust color, but I mean, honestly, it's all brown. That car is painted brown. Studebaker. Studebaker? I think it's a Studebaker. I could be wrong, but I'm probably not. And, well, no. Studebakers necessarily did not have that front. I think so. I think so. What an interesting looking car, right? Like, the designer of that car. But patinaed. Most rat rods will come patinaed, and then they're like making wraps that look like cars are rusted, which is pretty interesting. I have a patinaed car out in my driveway. It is falling apart because of rust. Rust. It's not that bad. It's not terrible. It's getting there though. I need to do some maintenance to keep it from rusting. So yeah, something in this. So just like lots of grays, whatever original color. I just don't know. I don't know what the original color of the UFO would be, but it looks to be brown. A little bit of erasing. Just don't know. Okay. So what we want to do is color most of it gray, right? We're going to use this as a reference layer, right? And we're going to use, add a layer in between. We're going to fill. Oh, bummer. It's all right. It's easier to erase. It's much easier to erase. It's okay if it's not perfect. We're not trying to go perfect. Which actually gives me a decent idea to try to do something a little bit out of my comfort zone, and that is to draw this blue line around the edge, which I think would be very helpful to shade like right against. So I think we're going to have a little bit of shading, right? So I think it would look nice if I shaded against that one side. Right now I can't seem to focus on it enough to do it. But it looks something more, oh, sorry guys, studio, something more like, maybe not. Anyhow, we got the gray in, we're doing that. Now, what I could do is I could do two things. I can add a layer underneath. Oh, not in that, not to do that, not to do that. Delete, okay. So if I put this here, and I told this layer to still reference it, and I put like a rust brown color. Put a rusty color in there, somewhere in there, right? And I drop this color into my reference layer. Correct. And again, come in with the eraser, knock out this situation, right? And then I come back in with my eraser and I pick a textured brush like grunge, and then I take it on top of this layer and I bring it down and I try to just, and I wonder if I even did another layer. So this is pretty cool. I've never tried this before. And I put that on top. Okay, so first we're going to erase the regular color using this brush, right? So it's going to have some rust spots here. Right? Some rust here. Okay, and then what I wanted to do was for this one, I want to do maybe more bright orange. Give me more of that real, I just don't know. Like a bit more of a reddish brown. I want to bring it down into the red color there. And I'm going to add this to this layer, which is going to fill in. I'm going to grab my eraser. I'm going to grab my eraser. I'm going to go over to my airbrush. I'm going to quick select the hard brush back to the eraser. Remove this. Right, again. I shouldn't have to do this, but it's not in the same frame, so it's not counting it. Then I'm going to go to my orange layer, which I'm already at. I'm going to collect I got a texture. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to kind of scrub some of the texture back into the brown. So it looks a little bit more detailed. Now, end result. we're just slightly touching on it, right? More layers, more erasing. Let's get rid of more of the gray. Right. Oh. Maybe we make it bigger. Take out bigger chunks. Right. And there's too much orange there, so I'm going to erase more of the orange and get that brown color to come through right there with the orange. Right. Right, so then we get this slightly rusting looking ship. I'm missing something. I don't know what color I'm missing. Is it, maybe it's because I'm painting it using the bare metal, but I would think that that would complement the sanding look. All right, let's just check out a couple more textures so I just don't give up. Oh man, that kind of gives me a cool, I like that a little bit better. If you can see the actual texture of this, when I use it, kind of like kind of just rolls it up. It's weird. I think I still need to hit it with like a dark brown though. Yeah, what are we going to use to apply this? Or are we going to just drop this one underneath all of them? I don't know. One more time. Oops. Perfect. Select this layer. Things are falling from behind me. So I think I need more red, huh? Too orange. What about the rectangle? Too harsh. I think it just looks better when there's like a color on top of it. Like a lot of those cars are like, okay, well, the car originally was seafoam green, right? And then we gotta hit it with that grunge brush, right? And we just erase parts where it's starting to rust, right? Uh-oh. Procreate's like, no more commands. Stop. That might be it. I don't know. I don't know. It's not quite looking rusty. No. It's just really brown. I guess you'd have to like figure out in what points would you see the most rust. Because like this Volkswagen, right, for example. Of course, it's not going to let me zoom in. And it just looks like a cow. This just looks like what I did, but just all brown. There's really no red, it's just brown. But original paint, there's like an original paint color which helps set off, right? This like patina, this rust color has to be product of an original paint situation. Yeah. Like the outer edge, it seems to be like where the peaks, I don't know, like here's a Volkswagen that's patinaed. Right? It looks rusty. It's all brown. Just random places of wear. Oh no, it doesn't really. VW patina. There's a lot of rusty Volkswagens on Pinterest. And again, like, there's really no rhyme or reason to this rusted look. It's just this brown with like, and it gets lighter towards the edge. So I guess I'd have to build it in layers. Oh, it's just funny because this is called fungus, this VW. I would guess I have to build it in layers and then yeah, it's got to be silver on the top and then like with scrape out. I just have to figure out how it would work when I build it and what color goes on top, and then the next I could do it like regular paint and then just kind of sand through it digitally, which might work. Yeah, like these VWs just look destroyed. I'm just looking at like patinas. Here's another one. Green split window. PP51. I think that guy has semaphores on his too. But yeah, just brown. Pretty much just brown and then the color. Around the edges, the paint stays. They seem to do it everywhere. And then a little bit of yellowish white. I just don't know. How do you paint rust? I might have to look it up. I think this is just brown with a little bit of its old black paint and a little bit of gray. It does really eat off to a pattern. It doesn't really, and then it has maybe some chips and some flaking. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for this one. It has been a crazy Wednesday already, and I hope everyone is having a great week. We didn't get through. I mean, we drew what we could. Let's go back to the studio and see what we did. More brown, right? So like, if we learned anything from any of that, we just need to go into our oranges. And there's just too much orange, just to be honest. It just needs to be more brown all over. The orange is like just faint. And it's like real rust. And then this one also can, be taken, can erase a little bit more. That white doesn't help at all, but this is what we're dealing with. Oops. Put this brown back in here a little bit. Maybe it's just got to be more brown. Maybe I need to erase the gray a little bit more too. Take more of the paint off. Still, that orange is not working with us. I'm going to just hide it all together and see how it looks. Rusty? No, still too much orange. It's really just a lot of brown and kind of speckly brown. So maybe it's just playing with a brush that works. But like, it's pretty brown. Rest is pretty brown. I might even be able to draw it a little bit more cartoony and make it look correct by putting some patches in. But like I said, the stream's over. Maybe I'll find some time tomorrow to put it in there. Unfortunately, I got to get straight back into trying to figure out how to now split up these 3 different episodes of Alaska, because I only have 2 more days left. So that's going to be it. I would use a sponge and do a mostly reddish brown black for the holes and very orange, very little orange brown. Yeah. I'm going to use a little bit less orange brown. Try to paint the UFO something. But traditionally the UFO is chrome, which looks white. That's not going to work. And then I just don't. I need to look it up. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for day number 24. Ooh, that's a lot of drawings in a row. And that's a lot of streams in a row. So I'm glad if you stuck in there with me. If you're just joining us, then hang out and watch till the end. We got a few more days left, and then we're done with October. And I can breathe easy and go back to doing normal 3-word challenges instead of 1-word daily challenges. All right, that's going to be it for this one. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.